Hi, this is Mimi from Mimi's Paper Crafting. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be making some fun fold cards. This is the second in the series. My first video last month was easel cards, I believe. I don't even remember, it's been so long. This month is going to be step cards, and I have 5 different versions of step cards. And we're going to start with the original, let me get out my trimmer. The original step card, which is the steps going on the side of the card. So we're gonna have to cut our cardstock. I just grabbed random pieces over here. As you can see, they're yellow. So we have our first piece of cardstock. All right, and all we're going to do is take our scoreboard and we're gonna score. We're gonna score like we normally do at the 4 1/4 mark, like a normal card. 4 1/4. Okay, then we are going to score. This is where it gets a little bit complicated. So we want to make sure we have a bottom piece, which is 3 1/2 inches up. I'm on the right spot, right? Yes. I'm looking at it going, wait, I moved it. I don't remember moving it, you guys. All right, it is not even 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember moving it. Oh, it is 8 o'clock. How long have I been sitting down here? Jeez Louise. So we are going to take our scores and we are going to score at 1 1/4. And we're going to score to 3 1/2. So what I'm going to do on my scoreboard is take a piece of washi. Yeah, I still have this baby boy washi. If you saw that video sitting here next to me, I haven't put it away yet. But I want to make sure that I know where the 3 1/2 is. And the 3 1/2 I can see is right here on my scoreboard. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape there so I know to stop there. All right, so we're going to go, what did I say? I already forgot. Let me open back up my list. I have my list on my phone and I should not have it on my phone. So we're going to score at 1 1/4 and we're going to stop at the 3 1/2. Okay, so can you see that? All right, we're going to do the same thing again and we're going to go at 2 1/4. And stop at the same place. Okay, and then you guessed it, 3 1/4. Now I do have a die that cuts a step card, but not everybody does. So, and the next one is 4 1/4, which is already right here. Okay, and then 6 1/4. I skipped over, but that's fine. I'm just trying to make sure I can see. Nope, not even close to the edge. None of these are. There we go. Okay, and then it's time to trim. So what I'm actually going to do is take this and we're going to score at 3 1/2 down through all of these so I know where to cut. Okay, so let me get a pencil and make these marks off camera so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, here we go. This is the A2 side step. We're going to cut on this line here. The rest of them are scored. This is the 2 inch from the cut line over, 3 1/2 from the cut line over that way. Okay, so we're going to take our trimmer, and that's why I have this trimmer out, because I could be more precise with this trimmer than I can with any other trimmer I own. And I'm going to line up and pull my blade up. And I'm going to stop. And there we go. So now this is cut. There's like a mouth. Bloop, 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 bloop. Now we're going to burnish our score marks. So the first one I'm just going to fold in the middle because it's an A2. So that's folded. And then we're going to start scoring these other lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's already scored, so we're going to score this last one. Okay. And then we mountain and valley fold. Okay, so it looks like that. All right, so you valley the first, mountain, valley, mountain. Okay, so that is one way to do it. Now there's another way that you step it up a little bit higher each time. All right, let me put this away and grab another piece and we'll start. Okay. Are we done, camera? Once again, we have a normal A2 size card, and we're going to score at the 4 1/4 like we did. I'm going to take this off because we are not, that did not help me at all. You saw, I ended up having to use the ruler, which helped a lot more. Don't know why I didn't think of that. So this one, we are going to cut, the cut line is going to be at 2 3/4. So let's score at 2 3/4. Well, nope. Look, already. Let's put the ruler down at 2 3/4. So like there. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not worried about it being perfect. I just want to have a stop point. All right, so then we're going to score at 1 1/4. One and a quarter, and then 2 and 3 1/8, 4 1/4. It's already there, and 6 1/8. Okay, so you saw the other ones went up by like, it was like what, an inch every time until it got to the 6. And now we are going to score at 2 3/4. I'm not scoring yet, I'm just making sure I'm in the line. And then score to that. And now we can come back and finish, because of course, but at least I didn't go over, right? Right. All right, I'm going to make the marks, make the marks, and I'll be back. Okay, here we go. So this once again is our cut line. 1 1/4, 2 inch, 3 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 1/8, and 2 3/4 inch over is where our cut line is. I'm just going to lay it down and match it up. What is going on? Ooh, it ripped there. Okay. It got stuck and like tore right there, but since this is just an example, I'm not worried about it. Now, if this was an actual card, I would have to replace this. But yeah, for some reason, you know what? My blade is really dull. Okay, my blade's really dull. And then I'm just valley mountain folding. Starting with the valley. So when I say the valley, it's down. See, down. Mountain is tall. So valley is down. You're in the valley. Here you're at the top of the mountain. There you're at the valley. Here you're at the top of the mountain. Okay? So V, M. See that? V for valley, M for mountain. Okay? So that's all I mean. It's an accordion fold. And there we go. So now you can see the difference. So this one you can put something here and here and you'll see it. This one more kind of, can you see it kind of sits back a little bit more? You see that? You see the difference? Okay, those are those. Then we have a corner, like not corner, each side. So let me get my measurements for that. I have so much crap saved in my notes that I have to scroll down. All right, we're gonna cut this once again for an A2 card. So at 5.5, and then we're gonna grab our scoreboard and we're gonna score again. So we're going to score, like always, at the 4 1/4, because this is an A2. So 4 1/4, and then we are going to score. Okay, we are going to score at 1 inch, but we're only going to score 1 inch down. So see, let me get this in front of my face so I can actually see. There we go. That looks to be about 1 inch. So we're going to score at the 1 inch. My phone just shut off. I really need to write these down in a notebook instead of keeping it on my phone. We're going to score at 1 inch, 2 inch, okay, and then we are going to score at 5, right? Hold on, let me make, okay. Yes, my math is right. 1 inch, 2 inch, and 5 1/4 inch. Okay, and then we're gonna turn it because we need to do the other side. Okay, so that looks to be at the 1 inch. Yep. So now we're gonna score at 3 1/4 inch because we turned it, which is still on the other side. Correct. And then 6 1/2 inch and 7 1/2 inch. Okay. And then we are going to making sure here. We're going to score down here at 1 inch if I can make sure I stay in the line. Okay, there, I'm right. Okay. 1 inch down, and I'm going to turn and do the same thing. And that is our cut line. All right, I'm going to, come on camera. The camera does not like this yellow paper. Okay, I have the 2 different measurements that I used. Since this one went backwards, it was 7 1/2, 6 1/2, 3 1/4. This one is 1, 2, 5 1/4. And now you do not want to fold on the 4 1/4. I accidentally drew on that, so we're going to ignore that. See, that doesn't exist. Ignore it. Doesn't exist. Was not paying attention. All right, so now we're going to cut at our cut lines, which are 1 inch over. So I'm going to go up. And down. Okay. I'm going to turn and do the same thing over here. Sink my blade up and then down. All right. I'm going to fold just this middle piece. See, try not to fold the others. And we're going to valley, mountain, okay, and then valley. so this is what this one looks like. See that? All right, so that one's that one. So this one is a middle step. All right, so far we have 2 different versions of the side step and a middle step. All right, let me prepare for the next one. Okay, for this one, this is a double vertical side step. Sorry about that. The only thing that sucks about this camera is the autofocus, and I can't turn it off. This one you need 2 pieces of 11 by 7. Okay, and you're going to score along 11-inch side at 1, 2, 4, and 6. So 1, 2, 4, 6. Okay, so each one, 1, 2, 4, and 6. This is a bigger card also. This is a 5 by 7. I already forgot. 1, 2, 4, and 6. Okay, so I'm going to okay, here we go. I wrote everything down. So you score at 1, 2, 4, and 6 on both pieces. They're 11 by 7, and it's a 5 by 7. And now we're going to take this piece here. I'm just going to fold it back so I can glue the 2 card bases together. Okay, and I don't want the one piece to get in my way. So I'm folding it back just for that reason. And then I'm just going to line it up like so. Oh. Okay, there you go. And then you have one long piece now that you glued them together, and you are going to mountain, valley, mountain, valley. Okay, so mountain, valley, mountain, valley. Let me burnish those. Okay, so that is what it looks like. So what you can do is put a nice big focal point. I don't have anything sitting here. I don't have anything sitting here. Okay, this is obviously too big, but it was the only thing I had on hand. But see that, how it would sit like that? See that? There you go. Nice big. And if you don't have something huge, you could also put a piece of acetate. I would glue a piece to here and to here. So I would cut the piece to be 5, right? 5 by 7. Yes, I would cut it to be 5 by 7 and glue it on this 2-inch piece here on the back of this where you scored it number 2. That's where I would glue it. So then you could put whatever you wanted in the middle. All right, that is the double vertical side step. Let me put this away. Okay, so our next one is an inside step card. You'll see what I mean. So I'm going to need to cut, you need a 12-inch piece of paper for this, okay? This camera is really annoying me today. I think it's the colors. Hold on, maybe that'll help. I turned off the one overhead light, so we'll see if that helps. So we need to cut this to 6 by 12. Geez Louise. So 6 by 12, okay? And then we're gonna need our scoreboard. We are gonna start with this card and we're gonna score at 4.5 all the way down. 4.5 all the way down, okay? So we're scoring backwards. This is the front of the card. We're scoring backwards. And then we are going to go to 5 and 3/4. Now, it needs to be 1.5 inches down. So, I'm just taking my ruler again and going to 1.5 inches, and we're scoring at 5 3/4 down to the 1.5 inch. Okay, and then the next one is 7 1/4 down to the 1.5 inch. Okay, now we're going to go to 3 inch. So 3 inch. Okay, right? Yes, because we want to end at 3 inch. And we're going to go to 6 1/4 to the 3 inch. All right, and then 7 3/4. Yes, 7 3/4 to the 3 inch. Okay, now we're going to go down to 4.5 inch. And we're going to score at 6 3/4. So I'm just going to lightly find that spot. That's right. Ooh, I went up a little too far. That's not a big deal. And then 8 1/4. So 8 1/4. Then we don't need this anymore because we're going to go to the bottom. Then we need to score at 7 1/4. So we're already in this line here. 7 1/4 and 8 3/4. 8 3/4. Okay? Let me draw on this so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, here it is. Okay, so also you have to flip it. I flipped it upside down. Okay, because my trimmer's backwards. I mean, my scoreboard is backwards. Most times the scoreboards are like this with the edge on this side. So for me, I had to turn it backwards. Okay, so here we go. It's 6 by 12 piece of paper. You're scoring at 4.5 for the first score, then 5 3/4 and 7 1/4 down to 1.5. This 1.5 line will get cut. Okay, so this will get cut lines. So every horizontal line gets cut. Every vertical line gets scored. Okay, so now we need the trimmer. If you don't want to use a trimmer for this, you can use a mat, a ruler, and a blade. Okay, especially if you don't have a precision, like mine is more of a precision trimmer because there is this wire. Can you see that wire? There's a wire here. I don't know if you can see it. So that helps me know where to trim. I'm going to, let's turn it this way. Turn it this way. And we're going to go, hey now. I'm going to pull this down and I'm going to sink my blade and I'm going to go to the bottom and then up to the top. I'm going to pull this over and I'm going to do the same thing again. Sink my blade up to the top, down to the bottom, over one more, sink my blade up to the top, down to the bottom. Okay? So now you have this card, you have these scores, this score, this score. Oh, I did not cut over far enough. Well then, I was not paying attention. Not paying attention. It's okay, you gotta cut over the next box. To the next box, or it won't work. Dur. That's a dur on me. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. So you have to cut all the way over. All the way over. That was on me. Okay, there we go. That's better. But you're still only folding at those score lines. Okay? So like that is how you want it to be. The scores to be folded. Okay? Okay. So you want it to fold like so. Okay? Now that they're burnished, we're going to now burnish them this way, and this is the way the card folds. This is the way the card folds. There we go. All right. So then it looks like so. Okay? It looks like so. Looks like so. Like this. See? Like this. Like this, like this, like this. Now, also, I believe we need an outer piece. I just grabbed a piece of orange. It's going to be a very, very bright card. But once again, this needs to be cut at 6. Right, it was 6. Yes. Jeez Louise. I'm like, wait, it was 6, right? Yes, it was 6. I'm telling you. And then we need to score at 6. Did I lose my... There it is. So then we need to score at 6. That's it. 6. Okay? So this is a 6 by 6 square card. And then we're just going to glue it together like so. You see how it makes that little square there? So what I'm going to do is glue this side in first, and we glue right this way. Ay, ay, ay. We glue, we're going to put it in, and we're going to close it because we glue it right to the edge. That's all. I'm going to open it up and make sure it's in the right spot. So there we go, like that. And then we're going to take this piece and glue. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to line it up and glue it like that. Okay? So now we have this card. See? Okay? That is that card. Okay, so this is, we need to write out that this is what? I don't know, this is a stair step, I think it's called. 6 by 6 stair step card. And then this one's 6 by 12, and this is 6 by 12 scored at 6 inches. Okay? And I think that will be all I'll do in this video, because I do have a few more step cards, if you believe it or not. There are so many step cards out there in the wild. This is going to be the last, because this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different step cards for this video. So I will have another video with other step cards coming up in a different month. But there we go. There are all 5 step cards. A stair step, which the nice thing is, then you could put like a word here, like baby, B-A-B-Y, hugs. Trying to think of other 4-letter words you could. All I can think of are naughty 4-letter words. But that one's nice for that. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because I will be doing another one of these next month. And I don't think I'm going to do step next month. I'm going to do a different one and come back to step in another month. Okay? Because there's all kinds of fun fold cards out there. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next crafty video. Have a great rest of your day.